one-on-one conversation. 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comings with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K Ward coming at ya. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs. Tune in, chime in, sit back, relax. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show, Artist Talk. I'm your host, Jazzie K Ward. Happy Monday to you. And before we kick the show off, we're just starting the month of May, and anyone celebrating a birthday this month, again, happy birthday to you. You know, it's the tar season. I just celebrated a birthday on April the 28th. Again, it was a blessing. I had an awesome time. Thank you so much to everyone for the calls, the cards, emails, texts, and all that jazz. Thank you all so much. And for also the heartfelt gifts, cash apps, all that. Thank you so much. Well, what I would like for you guys to do is share the video, but also make sure you go over to K Ward Radio. You can watch the show on YouTube, go back and watch replays, share with your friends, and subscribe to the page right there. Boop. Hit the notification bell so you can get all the notifications when Jazzie goes live, right? As well as kwardradio.com. My website, subscribe, share with your friends, subscribe. Some great things are coming to the website as well. So you have questions and comments also tonight. Make sure you post those. So before we get the show started, my special guest, I'm so excited, is TADRIC JERMAINE. This brother's a musician. He's a producer. He's an engineer. He's a multi-instrumentalist who developed a signature sound that melded live jazz arrangements with inventive electronic production. And that's why this brother has that it factor. And I'm even more excited to have a conversation with him. But let me show you a snippet of why TADRIC JERMAINE is the truth right here on Artist Talk. Listen to my heartbeat goes ba-da, boot-up. See, he should have had me on the background vocals doing that. Yeah, he knows that, right? So, well, maybe we'll do that next time. We'll ask TADRIC about that on the song. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's share the video. Let's give this brother a lot of love. Ladies and gentlemen, musician, producer, engineer, Mr. TADRIC Jermaine, to Artist Talk.
How you doing, Jazzie? Good
What's up?
evening. Good evening.
What's up, my brother? Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you too as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Uh, you were always on my list. I said I've got to catch up with TADRIC. I mean, I'm just like a huge fan of
I
his
appreciate
music,
you.
and I'm so glad you're here tonight. And again, I want to say hello to everyone on the show that's joining us. Hey, Vanessa, Victoria. Hey, Miss Felder. Miss Felder is my high school teacher. My high school teacher. Hey, so if anyone has any comments, make sure you post those there, and we'll do our best to try to answer those. But my brother, again, welcome to the show. So, how was your day today?
My day's been well. Had a good day. It's been a lot of rain down here in Atlanta, but other than that, you know, rain is good.
Yeah, rain is good. That's right.
So
I didn't realize, Tadric, that you were in Atlanta.
yeah, I'm actually maybe about 30, 40 minutes, just depending on traffic, but right outside of Atlanta.
Atlanta. Well, not far. I'm in Montgomery, so I'm like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think about 2.5, 3 hours. Not too far.
So I hope everyone is safe over there because I think you all had a tornado touchdown over there, right?
Yeah, they were actually. I know one of my coworkers. He had a tornado warning or tornado drill at his job. They actually had to do the whole drill and whatnot. But yeah, it's been some bad weather, but it's definitely has stopped now. It's
Okay.
starting to calm down a little bit.
Okay. Well, great. So, hey, everybody. Hey, my friend Kenneth. We got Costella.
Hey, Costello. Hey,
She,
Kenny.
hey, what's up, Kenny? So everybody, if you hear my weather radio go off in my studio, hey, it's the weather radio. Okay, so
Oh
it
yeah.
might just possibly go off because weather is starting to get bad a little bit here in Montgomery.
Okay.
So my brother, Tadric, your music. Well, let me start this off. Everybody that's on this live, even for those who go back and watch the replay, if you don't know Tadric Jermaine, shame on you.
Amen.
Shame on you for not knowing this brother, okay? So make sure you also go over to tadricjermaine.com, check out his website, and also
Yes, sir.
support the brother, buy his music, get his music, share with your mom and them, your auntie and them, everybody in them, okay?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Everybody. So, Tadric, last year, the pandemic,
hmm
you know, when that happened, do you remember when all this started, where were you? What was going through your mind?
Right.
Any
Right.
thoughts on that?
So honestly, I was where I'm at now, in my studio. My actual day job, I'm a cybersecurity engineer, but I had the ability to, and a blessing, just to work from home already. There's a few times I had to go into the office, but besides that, I'm already here. I have my studio, my office set up, but at the same time, me being in IT as well as music,
Okay.
luckily I was still able to sustain at what I do because I understand IT and everything's moving over virtually. So I was able to just basically just maneuver better in that environment. And to me, it presented it did present a lot of challenges, but it presented more work and opportunities to just work on more music, just get better, study different things. And so I think, COVID obviously is a bad thing. It has
Right.
taken lives and whatnot. But at the same time, it has provided myself an opportunity and other people just time to reflect and time to just create projects. So I
Right.
loved it. At the same time, I hated it, but at the same time, it was like, you got to appreciate it at the same time.
That's true because I was I tell the guests on the show and just friends having conversation. I'm kind of a homebody, but
Yeah.
I,
Yep.
I thought it was a blessing and a curse. Because again, so many people lost their lives,
Right.
but it also gave me time, Tadric, to reflect and then realize, wow, we're in a pandemic, and did I really have the necessary things I needed to really? Because I can also work from home. Did I have things in order, things that I needed to
Right.
take care of? And just like yourself, it gave you a little bit more opportunity and time to write new music.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, like I said, and I agree with you, I'm a homebody as well. I just love to be in the studio. It's a funny thing being a jazz musician. You have to perform. You
Right.
have to in some sort of way. But just me, I just like to produce. I like to engineer and just stay at home and just create and push the music out.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's kind of COVID has kind of forced some people to just go out, go get out of their box, get out of their comfort zone. And actually, a few weeks ago on my birthday, I did a live virtual live stream concert,
That's right.
and I just did it. I was planning it at first, and then I was just going to cancel it, and then I just figured, hey, let's just do it. It's virtual. People have been at home. I
That's right.
mean, it's my birthday. Why not?
That's right. And we need more of that because, mental illness, especially I say in the African American community, I think
Right.
it increased. And people, I don't know if they realize that music is healing.
Yes.
So, mind, body, and soul, Tadric, what do you do to take care of yourself?
To me, to just relax, to take care of myself. I work out. I've been working out more and more often now.
Right.
I got a dog actually last year. I guess you can call it a COVID dog, but I love taking my dogs for a walk, playing around with them. So that has provided me the opportunity just to get out more. And obviously, getting out more, that sun, that gives you
Mhm.
that provides you some energy and some happiness, that vitamin D that you need to fight that depression or whatever it is, that sadness that you may be going through
Right.
during these COVID times, being in quarantine. Because a lot of people aren't like me and you. They're
Mhm.
not used to being at home, or
Right.
they're used to going out. But even myself, I'm used to being home. But at
Right.
the same time, I'm like, all right, I got to go somewhere.
Exactly.
But yeah, just that has just got people to just get out of their comfort zone, do virtual things, push you out of your limits, and just get better. Hopefully, if you should have gotten better, I hope. If not, there's still time. But just mental things, reading, and actually, you caught me right at the top of my social media break. I just started it a few days ago. So I
Okay.
think everyone should take it. You don't always, because I feel like social media always being in the know. You don't have to know everything. And that itself can cause anxiety because you could worry
Right.
about things that you necessarily wouldn't worry about. And in these few days, I've just seen or just realized that I worry less about other things because I'm not seeing so many sources of bad energy, things like that. But to me, working out, reading, and staying off just what you intake.
That's
I think what you intake has a big part of it. Eating right and drinking more water. Just
right.
those little simple things. Everybody says there's tons of millions of things to do, but just practicing those simple things, going out, taking a walk, quiet time, things like that. And of course, therapy. If you haven't tried therapy, it's not for just quote unquote crazy people, it's for everybody because you need someone to talk to about whatever issues you may be going through. And, you know, I think a lot of people are missing the fact that whatever you're going through, somebody else is probably going through the same thing or worse. So that could help you in itself, just talking to someone. So I think between therapy, taking a walk, reading, quiet time, and music. I mean,
That's
what
right.
else? What else can you ask for?
That's true because I think about the simple things in life,
Yeah.
like just going for a walk. And I can remember back in the day, trick, and I don't know if we're the same age, but you know, I'm a young man, but I got an old soul. I can
Oh,
remember. Do you remember the days back in the day where you could just have like a music battle? You may have your boom box,
yep.
or you and some friends get together and you play a song, they play a song, and you see who has the best song.
Oh, yeah, actually, a lot of my music, just back in my growing up adolescent days, um, sharing music with your friends,
Yeah.
seeing what music they have, or because
Mhm.
it's at least when me myself growing up, we had the internet, but it wasn't everybody's not going out to search for music. You still went to the store, so connecting with friends, even that's therapy in itself. But connecting with friends, finding whatever music they like, that's great in itself. And you can discover a lot of underground music and just different
Right.
types of whatever you listen to, jazz, R&B, country, whatever it may be.
That's right. So everyone, I'm Jazzie K Ward, your host for Artist Talk. My special guest is musician, producer. He's a multi-instrumentalist. This brother has that it factor. His name is TADRIC Jermaine, and he's our special guest. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with a little bit more conversation right here on Artist Talk. Hi, this is Jazzie K Ward, your host for Saturday Jazz Affair on FM 90.7 WVAS. Join me for a new segment of Artist Talk. That's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time each Saturday on WVAS. We're going to talk to artists about their music, have great conversation, and much more. That's on Artist Talk on 90.7 FM WVAS. Of course, you can stream the show via WVASFM.org. I hope you can tune in. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Artist Talk. My special guest is TADRIC JERMAINE, musician, producer, engineer, multi-instrumentalist, is our special guest tonight. Make sure you go over to his website. That's TADRICJERMAINE.com and support this brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're talking about your music, and I'm gonna talk about your song "Purpose Overture," which I love the song.
Thank you.
So, did you write that?
So there's a little short story. I'll tell it real quick.
Okay.
The first song is called "Purpose." It's by an gospel artist named Beverly Johnson. I met her out in Northern Virginia. Gospel artist. She has her group. So I met her a few months after I moved to Northern Virginia, DC area back in 2008. And I recorded on her gospel album. And one of the songs that I played saxophone on was called Purpose. And it kind of went how Purpose Overture goes, but you can look it up and listen to it. Then she created a second one, Purpose 2, or Purpose Remix kind of. And I got on that one as well. She called me. This was about 3 years ago, actually. And I just did the introduction on that, played the sax, and there were still vocals and whatnot. She had her group. And one day after that came out, she called me and just asked, hey, can you do your own remix, your smooth jazz remix? I want to, just hear what you come up with. And I just took that as, to me, that was like my first gospel production. And I went in, I guess, because that track's about 96, about actually a little over 100 some tracks in total. I had my daughter play the flute on it. My son did percussion, added just about every instrument, talk box. I just wanted to put my all into that song because I feel like she reached out to me, and this is like the third time. So on that remix, so I just wanted to give it my all. I put in some 808s because I just wanted to do something different with it. I come from a hip hop, R&B. I love like the 80s, 90s R&B. Of course, I love the 70s and the old Earth, Wind & Fire, Isley Brothers, that type of R&B. But I grew up in that 84 to 90s, 2000s R&B. So I love those 808s, the hard-hitting drums. Right. And I wanted to mix all of that in. So when you listen to that, you're going to hear pretty much all of my musical background in that. From the introduction, which is like that orchestra, that overture sound, with the timpanis and the flute and everything, and the percussion rising. I started in middle school playing in orchestras, in middle school bands. So that's how I started. You hear that, and then it transitions to that smooth jazz saxophone, that jazz that I normally do on my sax. And then it goes into the gospel, which is the gospel vocals that you hear, which is what I grew up in. I grew up playing in the church, grew up playing saxophone in church. Then I started playing bass guitar. I'm a bass guitarist as well. That's like my second instrument. So after that, you hear the gospel, and then I come in with the talk box, which is, I've always loved the talk box. If you don't know what talk box is, it's the Roger Troutman, Zapp and Rogers sound, or it's not the T-Pain sound. It's different. It's a talk box. But I added that. I just love the sound of it and just wanted to do something different. Like I said, I don't like the standard jazz sounds. I like to just remix everything that I love, R&B, rap, classical, and just put it all into my music. And that's what Purpose Overture came from.
Right. And that's one thing, TADRIC, I like about your sound. I don't necessarily like to compare people, but I think we have similarities with other people, other artists. But I was like, you know what? TADRIC has its, you're in your own lane. You have your own sound. I was like, I can't really, who could I kind of compare here, or who does he sound like? So that's why I say TADRIC JERMAINE has that it factor, y'all. And I have some more questions from our friend, but we're going to check out a performance. This is How I Feel right here on Artist Talk. That was how I feel, Mr. TADRIC
Yes.
Jermaine, my brother. That was amazing. People said nice urban ballroom song. And I,
Appreciate you
and
guys.
I was looking
Appreciate
at that.
everyone.
I was appreciate. I mean, I was looking at that. Your billboard in the background.
Yes, sir. Got that 2017. That was my first album, MMIII, which is Roman numerals for 2003.
Okay.
Released it April 28th, your birthday, 2017.
Yeah.
And yeah, went number one. Believe it was late October, November 2017.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I mean that I'm sure that was an awesome feeling.
Yes, sir. Just, putting out my first album and putting out independently and
Mhm.
just being able to work with friends on that album, people I went to school with, as well as Kayla Waters. She's a big Billboard artist as well, jazz artist. My
Mhm.
friends Matt Seward, Todd Golar, Waves, Versatile, everyone that just helped me on this album. I'm
Mhm.
just so appreciative and just great job, and my guitarist as well out in DC, Dave Polk, and just thankful to everybody. And that was to all my fans that bought the album, and as well as still supporting.
Yeah.
There's some songs, How I Feel, that you just played, that actually hit 1 million streams on Spotify. I
Wow.
want to say a year or two ago, and just that in itself was just an awesome feeling and just a great accomplishment. And that song to me, that song I just played was near and dear. I wrote that right after my grandmother passed. Like literally, I got off the airplane after her funeral and
Mhm.
wrote the song. And even though that was like probably the fastest song I recorded,
Mhm.
I worked on it just all day, and it was just able to just flow from me because of just
Yeah,
so many emotions coming out.
I can imagine. So I had a question for you, Tadra. Casella said, could you please say the name of the gospel song again?
Purpose. It is by Bev Johnson. My praise, my worship.
Yeah. I think, I'm going to try to pull that up just to play a little bit of it. My producer let me know.
Okay,
What,
all right. Yeah, there's
one,
two of them. Well, actually, there's three of them. There's my version, then she has her too.
okay. All right. So we're going to try to put. So when people listen to your music, Tadric, what do you want them to take away from that?
I like to call, or I like to think of my music. I like to ride in my car and listen to my music. So I call it riding music because it's just whenever I listen to a mix after I get done mixing it and producing it, I like to ride with it. Um, and at the same time, it's to me, I don't like to make it too busy because I want people to just be able to not to just relax and be able to focus and hear just the different sounds and the effects and just what everything that's going on. But just enjoying the music. You don't have to really do anything, but sometimes we just ride or we clean doing our listening to our music or we work. And so I don't want it to be a distraction. I just want it to just be something you can listen and vibe with. You can just chill with your mate or your friends, whoever it may be, or just even with yourself.
Okay.
Smooth music, but at the same time something you can ride to in your car and cut it up and hear that bass. I'm a bass player, so I like to hear the bass, of course. But I'm a hip hop music fan, so I like to hear that the 808s we call them, that low end kick. So a lot of my music you're gonna hear that always. It's hard for me to stay away from it.
I could only imagine. But we have a snippet I'm going to play for the song "Purpose" right here on Artist Songs. I think we have that ready now.
All right.
You for your grace and mercy has followed me all of my days. I am going to bless your holy name, 'cause my purpose in life is to give you all of the praise.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I took her lead line, and applied that. Kept the same melody, the vocal line, and so actually, what I did, I forgot to mention this. Her second song, her second purpose, I asked her to send me her vocals,
Okay.
and that's how I was able to incorporate that into my remix. So I really just took her vocals, added it to my beat, added my saxophone and drums and everything else in. So if you listen to her second one as well, you will hear how they both, or actually all three, intertwine.
Okay. And so we're going to take a listen out also at your part as well.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, that's nice and smooth right there, y'all.
Yes, sir.
TADRIC Jermaine. And I wanted to tell you, I love the art piece, the cover. Who designed that for?
So Tiffany Silver Tucker, she's out in Los Angeles. I actually met her out in the DC area as well when I first moved out there. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually think about that. So I met Bev Johnson 2008, 2009 in Virginia. And I actually met Tiffany Silver Tucker that did the art design for that as well. And yeah, I didn't even think about that till now, how we both met during that same time frame in the same area. But we're all living in different areas now. But yeah, she has her creative company. She does graphics, Otis Wise as well. And I just kept in contact with her. I've helped her out with her film and whatnot, and she's helped me out with music, just both. And we just kept in contact. And I like to just keep those relationships and help other people out,
Right.
along with Bev Johnson. And we've kept in contact since 2008, and just those friendships that we built over the last few years have just allowed us to continue to work together and create some great things.
Right. So I think that's great, and especially being an independent artist, TADRIC.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure a lot of it's very different versus being with a major label. So how important do you think is education being educated in this business, I know you're a graduate of Kentucky State University. What can you say
Yes.
to someone who wants to get in this business?
So for me, I spend, I want to say 50-50. I don't practice like I should. And that's because I'm studying, just I'm looking at the business side of things. So I understand the publishing and mechanical rates and whatnot. I'm part of the Atlanta chapter of the Recording Academy as well. So I'm able to help out with their advocacy um, roles and things that we're pushing out with legislation. So just knowing how to market, getting your own UPC, your ISRC code. It's great that these other companies like, I don't know if I can say them on your show, but like TuneCore and DistroKid, they offer these things. But for me, I want to get my own. Like I could pay them a fee every time to get their ISRC code, but I did my own research, got my own from my own company, LLC, and everything. So I think it's very important to understand every aspect. And honestly, it's not difficult. Like when you start thinking about contracts and whatnot. It's just reading through and maybe just grabbing a dictionary to understand those terms you may not. But it's because it's going to cost you in the end if you don't understand those things. But I think more importantly today is marketing.
Right.
Social media is out here. There's if you're doing music, there's no excuse that your music should be out there. There's millions of ways to do it. So,
Right.
but understand how to push it out there the right way. Marketing, understanding how to do the advertising, cost per click, click rate, click throughs, CTR, all of that. Like understand every aspect of music if you're going to be independent. But at the same time, you don't have to handle it all yourself. You can pass it on. Once you learn that information and once you get successful for enough money, you can hire those people, your PR, or once you get just too busy or too just great as a musician, a gigging musician, then you can hire those managers and those booking agents to do those things for you. And then when they're talking to you, you can talk to them in a language that, because you understand the work that they're doing. So it just builds great relationships. I can talk to my creative person that's doing the graphic arts and tell them to create a PSD in Photoshop, or I can talk to my video person because I understand how to do videos and cuts. So learn as much as you can. There's the internet's right in your hands. Don't waste your time with it. Use it to your advantage because there's so much useful information out there. And yeah, just even if it's learning how to put together a website, stuff like that.
Cool.
But yeah, independent, take on all the, or at least learn all the tasks, but you don't have to take them on.
You have to take them all. And also, you have a production company, Ingenious Dreams.
Yes, I started in Genius Dreams, myself and my partner Versatile, that's on the intro track, and it's on another track as well on my album, More and That's More the Fourth. We started that company Ingenious Dreams Media Group. I was out in Los Angeles at this ASCAP conference, which is the American Society Composers, Authors, Publishers. It was an I Create Music Expo, 2008. Everyone out there had, either a company they're representing or a brand. And me being young at the time, I didn't know. So I just, had that epiphany, that thought. I reached out to my frat brother, Warren, and I said, hey, let's start a company. We need a music business because we're already working together. I'm recording with him. I was making the tracks and he was doing the songwriting. So we just had this great production team, and we're still doing that today. He helps me out with, honestly, if it wasn't for him, I would not have an album out because I'd been making music for him and for other artists. And he was like, why don't you put out your own album with your beats? And I'm like, I don't know, because I was just making beats for rap artists, so and R&B artists. So honestly, that's where my sound comes from because I'm making music or tracks for them, and then I just end up getting on them myself. And so I owe a lot to him because he helped me start the company, and he told me to put out the music, put out the album back in 2014, and I released it 3 years later. It took a couple years to put it together, but yeah, started it in Genius Dreams. We got our first, Billboard plaque, and just, thankful, grateful for a brother like Warren to help me out and continue to push us through.
I mean, I think that's amazing, brother. Keep
Absolutely.
on pushing on. So for all those who are watching the show, even for those who go back and watch the replay, how can we continue to support you and your music?
Just continue to stream it, purchase it. My website, TADRICJERMAINE.com. I will continue to do some more live concerts. If you check out my website, my virtual birthday concert was on there. It's still on there. I'm gonna be doing some more. So you see my whole setup back here. I had the
Yeah.
whole light. So I'm definitely gonna give you guys another great show. My first one, I was, it was my birthday. I was kind of nervous and spent so much time putting the lights and everything together. But I want to do another and redo it. But yeah, just continue to check out iTunes. Continue to support K Ward Radio. Call in and beg him to play my music just nonstop all the time. But no, seriously, because I do see some Shazams in your area. And whenever I see that in my stats, I thank you because I know it has to be you playing my music out there. I'm like, thank you, K Ward, thank you, Corey, Jazzie.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue to stream it. iTunes, TADRICJERMAINE.com, Tidal, wherever you listen to music. I have a Pandora station as well. It doesn't just have my music on there. So if you love my sound and other sounds like that, check out my Pandora station. Or if you're at work, if you're at home cleaning up on Saturday, some great vibes, some great sounds on there.
I mean, amazing. I play it on my show on WVAS FM 90.7. I promise my show's Saturday Jazz Affair. TADRIC Jermaine, I mean, he's always on there. The boot up. And I know I'm running a little bit out of time, but you also did the Brandy and Monica song.
Yes. I did. So I actually rushed that one because once the verses came out, once it was announced, I actually had the track, the remake of mine, or The Boy Is Mine.
Mhm.
I just made it just because I just wanted to remix it and sample it. But once they announced the verses, I was like, hey, let's just make a full cover of it and just put it out. See what it comes out with. But yeah, just trying it out for fun. I love, like I said, that R&B, that era of R&B.
Wow.
I was bumping their music for those few weeks while they were coming out. So that just gave me the inspiration to just go in and create that cover, as well as when LMA had Boot Up come out.
Right.
I love the sound of it. It started getting hotter and hotter, and I'm just like, let's go with the smooth jazz cover.
That's right. What another question. If you had to do a verses, and I know some artists feel, well, I haven't been out long enough, but just hypothetically speaking, if you had to do a verses, Tadric, I mean, who would you want to do it with?
Honestly, and I'm gonna say Kenny G, and I
Okay.
know I'm nowhere near his level, but growing up in middle school, high school, college, I loved. We had these things called challenges. Some people call it shake the tree, but basically you challenge for first chair, second chair, third chair, and I've loved being pushed. So even though like he has sold platinum and diamond status, I would
Yeah.
still just love to just verses and just be there playing against him
Mhm.
because that's going to push me. And I know that's going to push me because that has always forced me and challenged me. Even those 2 times I lost first chair ever in life, um, it just pushed me to practice because once I lost, I'm like, okay, I got to go practice. So I was always carrying my saxophone home after school. And so I love to be around better musicians, or not just better musicians, but even young musicians that don't know yet, because there's an opportunity to teach them. And because I remember being in their shoes, looking at another great musician. So for instance, if I'm with Kenny G, it's like you're in amazement, but at the same time ready to learn.
Ready to learn. It's always something new to learn. And that's right, brother. Keep on grinding, keep on pushing. And Costella said, promote, and you have a new fan. Costella said,
Yes, thank you, Costello, thank you.
So Tadric, what's the best advice you've been given that you can share about life?
Best advice, just be intentional. That is something I've been trying to just do more and more of over the last year. Really since COVID has happened, and maybe just because of getting older or aging or whatever you want to call it, putting some numbers on your age, but just being intentional and just being truthful. Whatever you're gonna go for, whatever you mean to do, be direct about it, and don't beat around the bush. But also, whatever goals or ideas or things you want to create in life, do it. Go for it. You don't be because COVID and just life in general, so much loss has happened. So that, to me, I'm just like, do the live stream, put that album out, create more music, just go because you never know when you're gonna go. So my mind is just continue to create, be intentional about what you want to do in life, and just stay focused.
That's right. That's some great advice, ladies and gentlemen. TADRIC Jermaine, this brother's a musician, producer, engineer, multi instrumentalist. This brother has that it factor, and if you don't know him, shame on you. My brother, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anything you want to tell us before you go? I know you're going to take us out. You're going to perform us on out of the show. Anything you want to share?
Just thank you, Jazzy, for everything. You've great host, great music. I love your show, WBASA FM, K Ward Radio. You're doing your thing, and to all the fans out there, I appreciate your support as well. TADRICJERMAINE.com, and just when live music comes back, continue to support that and continue to just support music in general.
That's right. And everybody on this live, make sure you go to the website, TADRICJERMAINE.com, right there, and go download some music. Share with your friends. It's all about support. My brother, again, thank you. You have my support. Anything I can do in my corner over here, I got your back.
All right, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So you're gonna take us on another show. What are you gonna play for us?
I'll try out some talk box. I'll play something. See what we can come up with.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jazzie K Ward right here on Artist Talk. Thank you for your support of the show. Join me on FM 90.7 WVAS each and every Saturday for Artist Talk, also at 10 a.m. Any artists that would like to come on the show, send me your information. All that is posted there, as well as any monetary values, PayPal, Cash App, all that jazz is right there. Also, don't forget you can join me again this Thursday and Friday, as well as go over to K Ward Radio and subscribe on my YouTube channel, as well as kwardradio.com, and make sure you subscribe. And if you do not, shame on you for not doing that. Okay. So my brother TADRIC Jermaine, musician, producer, and engineer, is going to take us on out, y'all. Make sure you have a good night. Take care of yourself.
So for me, with the sunshine under our first, such brother lovers. Yeah, they must have played footsie under the table. Oh yeah, upon the rainbow. To achieve our levels of ecstasy, you and me. No, I wear so for more. Yeah, it's so faithful, so for more, so for more, so for more. Oh baby, oh baby, so for more, so for more. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So far. baby, yeah. Soulful mountain, soulful mountain, soulful mountain, baby, 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 yeah, oh yeah. Soulful mountain, soulful mountain, oh yeah. Soulful mountain, baby, 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 baby. Soulful mountain, soulful mountain.
A live one-on-one conversation, 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comings with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K Ward coming at ya.